All right, guys, here we are trying out Autosim. This is a beta for a NASCAR management game at this point. Now, it is text-based, so it's kind of similar to EWR, TEW, Out of the Park, Football Manager, even that sort of thing. But this is actually very exciting right here because we have taken over Shepherd Racing Ventures in 2005. We now own Morgan Shepherd's racing team, and we have him as our driver. Now, I will comment a couple things about this game right here. Of course, it is in a beta, so there are changes to come. I will link down to the Reddit for AutoSim. You can try this out for yourself if you want to. And as a qualifier here, this is not the exact screen. This is not the exact way the game looks like. Basically, what I've done here is kind of created a combination of windows, so it'll all be displayed here on my recording. What happens when you click on one of these buttons is a little window pops out, but with OBS, it's kind of hard to capture that. So I kind of just want to have everything on the screen at once and then click on stuff as I go. That being said, I will probably editing this video a lot to make sure things are working in OBS because this was kind of annoying to get going, and hopefully it's not too blurry because this game is in kind of a small resolution and I had to upscale it a lot to fit my screen. So anyway, here we are. We're the owner of Shepherd Racing Ventures. Let's go ahead and take a look at what a few of these buttons do in this game. You see here we've got Morgan Shepherd at 48 years old for the Racing for Jesus sponsorship. We have a driver rating of 54 and a car prestige of 47. I believe those can both go up to 100. Now, in our team options here, we do have Team 89 driver Morgan Shepherd. He's got 10 years left on his contract. We're able to fire him. I guess if we fire him, then we can hire somebody. We need to pay 50,000 if we want to upgrade the car prestige. We can find sponsors, but we already have some, and we can shut down the team. But I assume that you need another car to be able to do that. Looks like we only have $10,000 available at the moment. Let's go ahead and take a look at the free agent list. All right, so we'll take a look at the free agents. Had to partially move myself out of the way here, but we have Sam Hornish Jr., Ward Burton at 37. Who else we got? Ron Fellows, Todd Bodine, Clint Boyer, 25-year-old Clint Boyer. This is 2005. Got Denny Hamlin, Scott Pruitt, Stremme at 23, Ambrose, Todd Kluver, Reed Sorensen, Paul Wolf, Chase Montgomery, Paul Menard, JJ Yelly. What a name. David Reagan, Aaron Crocker, Brad Keselowski, David Green, Reagan Smith, Jason Keller, Allmendinger. Uh, Looks like I've actually scrolled wrong here. Who else we got? We got Michael McDowell, Jack Sprague at age 40. Boston Reed, Blake Fees, David Gilliland, Scott Speed, no way. Stanton Barrett, Chad Chaffin, TJ Bell, Kevin Conway. So yeah, we got all sorts of drivers available here, but we're going to stick with the man himself, Morgan Shepherd. Alright, so there's not much we can do right now with having only 10,000 in the bank. So what we're going to do right here is we're just going to run the Daytona 500 and see what happens. And yeah, let's see what kind of result we can get. Alright, so we take a quick look at the results of the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick gets the win, followed by Gordon, Earnhardt Jr., Michael Waltrip, and Sterling Marland. Kurt Busch led the most laps. You see, you get a kind of nice overview of what happened here. And it would appear that the Hendrick teammates of Brian Vickers and Terry Labonte got into a fight. Unbelievable. We finished 31st, excuse me, with Morgan Shepherd. You have all sorts of stuff going on here. People out with blown tires, engines overheating. How did Vickers and Terry Labonte get into a fight? Neither of them retired from the race. Explain that one to me. But yeah, we finished 31st, so a pretty good result there for Morgan Shepherd. I will take that for sure. And yeah, let's go ahead and keep on marching forward until we have some money to make some upgrades to our car. We're gonna need 50,000, so we'll see how much we got after that first race. It would appear right now that we only made $2,000 from that race. It's in thousands, I guess. So how do we calculate that? That's like 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So we got 12 million. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah. So we're gonna need to make it to 50,000, and we only have 12,000. So we're gonna need to run quite a few races and hope that Morgan picks up some good results. So what I think I'm gonna do now, because we kind of just need to grind to make some money here with Morgan, we're going to kind of run through some results. and I will show you kind of the highlights if anything interesting happens. And then once we make enough money, we will make an upgrade to Morgan Shepherd. So it looks like we have a new career high here in the second race of the season. Rusty Wallace getting the win, followed by Gordon, Vickers, Stewart, and Kyle Busch in his very young days in the Cup Series. 30th place, not bad. I hope that Terry Labonte and Brian Vickers sorted things out, and it looks like we finished. We did not retire, so good stuff right there. And yeah, let's keep on going forward. All right, so a big result here in race 6. We finish in the 27th position. I am pretty happy with that. I think that is a damn fine achievement for Morgan Shepherd Racing Ventures here. And let's see who went out. Robbie Gordon, Scott Riggs, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Boris said, oh no, Terry Labonte goes out with a blown tire. Seems like, the kind of winners have been very varied so far. We've seen Brian Vickers actually earlier up near the top. Michael Waltrip bringing in 8th place. Very nice to see. And yeah, let's scroll through the results a little bit and see what we have here. What kind of drivers? Vickers down in the field a bit. Morgan Shepherd, 27th, finishing ahead of Jeff Green. What a guy. Kyle Petty, take that. And yeah, who's closing it out? Rian Sorensen in last place in the 39 for Chip Ganassi. That is not what you want to see. So yeah, let's keep on powering through here, keep making that money. All right, well, we have a hell of a result here. Michael Waltrip gets the win for DEI in the 7th race of the season, which would be at Texas. Mikey winning at Texas, that is a dream come true. Unfortunately, we come home 38th with engine trouble, so definitely puttering our way through this season, but just got to make the money we need to do to upgrade the car going forward. The 12th race of the season, the Coke 600 itself, we had Jeff Burton get the win, but we have a fight between Hermie Sadler and Carl Edwards of all people. My goodness. We come home 32nd in the 600 with a blown tire. Unfortunate to not get a better result there, but it is what it is. Again, I don't know why Herbie Sadler and Carl Edwards are fighting when they didn't crash out of the race, but that is a pretty funny thing to imagine, to be sure. Let's see, where did Carl even finish? He finished 20th. Where'd Hermie finish? Like way down the field? Out of here? I can't even find him. It would appear somehow that Hermie Sadler wasn't even in this race and he got into a fight with Carl Edwards. I cannot find him on the driver results. I've literally scrolled up and down for like 5 minutes. So that is a pretty impressive achievement there for Hermie Sadler. Probably the best thing that's ever happened in his career. A quick standings update at the halfway point of the season. Jeff Gordon leads from Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart, followed by Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch, pretty tight up near the top, all covered by 81 points through the top 4. Let's see where we stand here. Oh boy. All right, we're sitting 32nd. I actually am not that upset with that. I think that is pretty good running for Morgan Shepherd, ahead of Bobby Hamilton Jr., Kenny Schrader, Jason Leffler, Robbie Gordon, Mike Wallace. It's pretty good for old Morgan, so we will take that, and we are actually at a point where we can upgrade the car. We do have over $50,000, so let's go ahead and jump in and see how we can do that. All right, so as you see, we have $53,000 in the bank, so we will play the 50,000 and upgrade the car prestige by 2. It's going to push it up to 49 here once we refresh it. And indeed, it is at 49. So small gains so far, but it is a start, to say the least. Let's go ahead and actually get this back up here. Yeah, it's going to be 50,000 every time, it looks like. And yeah, it's going to be a long road ahead, it looks like, with old Morgan Shepherd. I think we're going to power through the rest of this season, see if we can get enough to maybe upgrade the car one more time. All right, well, this is an interesting result to say the least. In the 35th race of the season at Phoenix, we had Jeff Green get the win from Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, Ricky Rudd, and Elliott Sadler. Unfortunately, we finished 35th. Even with this upgrade, we've kind of been low 30s, kind of maybe high 20s if we're lucky. Right, so finishing the season out, we had Jeff Gordon ended up running away with it at the end, followed by Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Elliott Sadler, Ryan Newman, Ricky Rudd, and Jimmy Johnson rounding out the top 10. I don't believe they have the chase in this game. No, it doesn't look like it. So straight point standings, the right way to do it. And where'd we end up finishing here? Let's see. Well, we took home 29th, a top 30 points position. That is very good for Morgan Shepherd. And yeah, let's go ahead and see what happens in the silly season, the off season, that sort of thing. All right, so it's kind of funny. You do get a year in review when you finish the year, kind of what's going on in the world. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating the Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl 33 to 4. Uh, we had the Detroit Pistons beating the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals. The Pistons at that time, I might believe it. They had a pretty good team kind of in the early-ish 2000s. And the main event of WrestleMania 21 saw Chris Benoit, geez, defeating Umaga, geez, in a 2 out of 3 tables match. How exactly that works, I'm not sure. Do you just go through a table and then get right back up and keep on going? I don't know. But hell of a main event. Two guys that are not with us anymore for two very different reasons. And let's go ahead and get on going before this video gets redacted. You'll see down at the bottom left for this silly season, we have a few retirements here. Mike Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott, Kyle Petty, Kenny Schrader, and Ricky Rudd. So a lot of big names gone. So we'll have to see who fills those seats, or will they close down the teams? Who knows? Let's go ahead and jump forward and see what happens with these free agents and stuff. All right, so we'll take a look here on the bottom left. This right here is where this game shines, in my opinion. We have all sorts of weird stuff going on here. So Hendrick Motorsports has shut down the number 44 team. So no Terry Labonte driving for Hendrick anymore. The 96 Hall of Fame Racing has emerged in the 2006 Cup Series. We have the retirements. You get nice stats for a lot of the drivers. Not every single person, but for a few of them. Roush Racing number 97 has a new driver, Denny Hamlin. So Kurt Busch gone from the 97. Clint Boyer will now be driving the Wood Brothers number 21, and Paul Menard is driving the UPS Robert Yates number 88. JJ Yaley to Evernham is number 91. Whoops, where am I scrolling here? And then we've got Hall of Fame Racing, new team. We'll be having Kevin Conway drive. Haas Racing number 0, Ward Burton will be driving that car. Marcus Ambrose to the Joe Gibbs number 11. So Denny Hamlin goes to the 97 and Marcus Ambrose to the 11. McDowell's driving the Chip Ganassi at 39. Morgan McClure number 4 has David Gilliland. Chad Chafin will be driving the 49 for BAM Racing. Jason Keller's driving the 10 for MB2. And Terry Labonte takes over Kyle Petty's ride at Petty Enterprise as well. Some very interesting developments here. All right, so that's where we're going to leave it off for today. We're kind of going to cut it off here after the first season. The reason for that is because I want you guys to try this game for yourself to see what sort of features are lying in there. There is a simulation mode, so if you want to, you can kind of just sit back, leave out the owner aspects, and kind of just sim seasons and see what kind of crazy nonsense goes on. I will leave a link to the website for this game down in the description along with the subreddit. Please let these guys know what they're doing, give them some feedback. You can check out the dev blog on the website. All sorts of awesome updates coming for sure for this game. And yeah, that's Autosim. I do appreciate you guys for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new, and I will see you in the next race.